Okay, I hit the record button. You're free to begin. Just jump right on in.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to this class on the benefits of meditation, which we very well might call the blessings of meditation. And just want to run through a few of the format for this evening before we get started. The class is being recorded, and all participants are welcome to either allow yourself to be visible, or if you choose not to be seen on screen, that's fine. We do ask that everyone remain muted until you are recognized for a question or comment. Martha and I will share thoughts in around 4 areas dealing with meditation. First, general observations about meditation. Second, practical benefits of meditation, and there are many. Third, what we personally find effective in the practice of meditation. And finally, the greatest benefit of meditation that each of us observe. Later in the hour, we will invite your questions and comments, and you may offer these on chat or by raising your hand. Because this is a class about how to meditate, we are not planning an actual meditation. The class will be approximately an hour in duration, and it will be on our YouTube channel, SLC Troy, as soon as our technical man, Nick, assembles the recording of the first or second class, whatever we decide to use, along with the other segments to it. Do you have anything that you'd like to add, Martha, before we get started?
Nothing at all. Welcome, everybody. Glad you're here. Sarah, good to see you. Welcome, Peggy. And we're here to learn too. We're delighted that everybody could be here and look forward to seeing what your experiences are as we get later into the class. And for now, just take it and go, Reverend Ron.
All right. Well, we'll start out with general observations about meditation. My personal experience arose late last year when I became aware, I came to the realization that meditation that I valued and had practiced for most of the second half of my life, ever since becoming spiritually oriented, that I had allowed a lapse of it. And it had been several years since I had regularly practiced meditation. And when I realized this consciously, I made a decision. Actually, I made a commitment that I would meditate every day without fail. And I have done that now for more than 6 or 7, 8 months now. And I'll tell you, soon after I began that commitment, things in my life started to turn around, started to come to life. All kinds of situations appeared. I'll tell you just a couple of examples. One was I had been dealing with difficulty rising out of a chair and moving along without feeling that I needed balance. And I was led to a practice where I go twice a week for 45 minutes, and this has turned my life around, and I'm just doing great with what we call stretch and tone classes here where I live. In addition, I started eating habits that were brought my way. I'm starting a new primary care doctor next week who is just an incredible person, has written 15 books and all kinds of other things. There was a coming together of our graduation class from ministerial school, I had someone contact me and say, we're trying to pull together our class. And most of the 32 members who graduated 30 years ago with Lenora and me got together on a Zoom for about 3 hours. And it was just a wonderful experience just a few months ago. So on and on, these kinds of things have been unfolding for me. And I really believe it has an awful lot to do with the practice of meditation going on for me. People practice meditation for various reasons. One, for physical well-being, to reduce tension or overcome anxiety. Another, to experience mental health, to feel centered and focused, freed from your monkey mind, and to be free from the worries of the world. Because studies show that you have an enormous number of nerve cells in your brain, actually billions and billions, and meditation enhances your gamma waves, meaning your brain waves that act as cognitive bridges. And these are great reasons alone, but as well as the side benefits to practice meditation. But the reason I meditate, and most people who are on a spiritual path meditate, is to further a conscious contact with God, in which we are silently inspired with divine ideas. Divine ideas being the term we use in Unity to express those thoughts, those intuition that comes to us from God to help lead us toward our greater good. It is most important to take time each day from the rest of all your activities and focus complete attention on your higher self and your spiritual path. Now, there are a number of techniques by which meditation is practiced, including focused meditation, where we focus on our breathing or on a mantra, a word that we repeat. There is meditation in walking. A number of people walk and meditate at the same time. There's what's called mindfulness meditation, transcendental meditation, visualization meditation, where you focus on what you would have in your experience. Body scan, where we see the various parts of our internal body being focused on and brought to life. Meditation is so valuable because it allows us to move from a focus on this earthly experience and to connect with the invisible world around us and within us. And as we do so, we establish a center of peace and quietness within. And we are able to let our mind be free from circumstances, free from constant thinking, free from being consumed by concerns of what might happen in our lives or what is going on in the world. I suggest a focus on not being serious about meditation and instead feeling that lightness, an easy, calm openness to all that is, to the entire vastness of my inner being. Mindful that meditation calms the restless mind. In meditation, I feel removed, I feel apart, I feel lifted, I feel in a sacred space. And one of the benefits of meditation for me is the support toward becoming a better person through that focus on joy, on gratitude, on compassion, on forgiveness, on love, on justice, on harmony, on all that I want to be able to live. Practical suggestions on meditation include the thought that it is well to focus on being calm, unrushed, peaceful, focus on serenity, on tranquility. I suggest 15 to 20 minutes of practice in meditation, but if it's 5 minutes, that's fine. And also practice not judging yourself. Did I do it right? Did I include everything I should have thought about? Did I give it the focus I should have? Did I do it enough time? Not getting into judgment on should I have done it better. Recognize that the invisible world is your friend, and you can allow your conscious mind to connect with that spirit. Know that your inner thoughts and feelings also can be your friends. I allow myself personally to connect with loved ones who've passed on, and that can be very powerful. I suggest that you have pen and paper at hand, and that taking notes is okay, that it is not something that need take you out of meditation, because what I find is that I can go in and out of meditation, opening my eyes for part of the meditation if I choose, or even taking a phone call and then going right back into meditation. If it, I wouldn't for a normal phone call, but I would just call back people later. But if it's an appointment that I need to arrange, or someone who I think would benefit by talking with, I do it. And I can go right back into the meditation without any hesitancy, without any feeling I've lost something or coming. It's possible to go in and out of meditation, and and that in itself is a blessing. Um, Sometimes your experience might be calm and tranquil and serene, and other times you might have a flood of ideas coming to you. And so I find it helpful to have that pen and pencil handy to jot down a word or two so I don't lose it and then wonder later, what was that I thought that gee, I wish I had that now. So writing things down doesn't detract whatever for me in meditation. Martha, will you share some thoughts?
Yeah, glad to. I've got so much that I want to give encouragement around. And Reverend Ron has done a great job at laying out the benefits of this. And I would encourage each of you to look into your own life to see what meditative practices you've had and to find your own benefits of them. And he's demonstrated clearly that even though we have tried and true benefits of a meditative practice, if we don't rededicate and redevote our life to this practice, it fades off, it even dissipates. And there's so many proven benefits of this that we could spend the whole night looking at them. But including what Reverend Ron has already said, that it helps us to explore our inner world, the core of our soul, our spirit, our self, and to recognize our true identities are beyond relationships, are beyond external perceptions, are beyond a circumstance we're in, are beyond a disease, a diagnosis, or something that we may have. So this spiritual this meditation is our opportunity and our freedom to get to know and to develop and cultivate that relationship with the part of ourselves that is true, that is infinite and eternal, our inner selves. It also then it enhances our self-awareness, our understanding that there's more to this complex world than any of us here in this dimension can see. It also facilitates a deeper understanding of emotions, of our emotional reactivity, of our instinctual reactivity, which allows us to acknowledge this humanness of these feelings and to process these feelings, intense feelings like anger, grief, rage, anxiety, loneliness, all of these that if we're not careful, we continue to suppress, depress, disown, and deny that they're there, which causes them to stockpile, which causes more of the very things we're trying to avoid. So not that can't be avoided. And if for me, meditation is devotion. It's devotion in that I've made a commitment, like Reverend Ron, to it. I've practiced it for years. I've taken various trainings in transcendental meditation and open eye meditation and metta meditation and vipassana. I've sat in silence, for 10 days and other things, and it will only be effective to the degree that I embody it. So it's not a tick box exercise or something we did, but something to begin to build some muscle around, that we can activate new neural pathways in our brain and activate and cultivate more immediate ways to calm ourselves, to reduce and address the stress hormones that run through our bodies. So it will improve our physical well-being. It's proven to help overall physical well-being, things like blood pressure and other stress-related factors, emotional well-being, resilience, things that most of us value, that it cultivates that too. And it helps us for me, to navigate challenging situations with greater composure, greater presence of mind and body and heart. Reverend Ron spoke clearly. His direct experience and the sciences has proven this, that it will absolutely boost cognitive function. It boosts mental clarity. It boosts our ability to focus, our memory, and all, quote, age-related issues with things like that. It also improves concentration because we're training our minds to focus, training the mind to stay present, and even in distractions to stay focused on something and less likely to go out into the distractions. It also fosters connection, which is connection to the infinite, eternal part of ourself that has not been harmed and hurt, that can't be, that actually is going to survive even when the body doesn't. It is driven through strengthening our bonds. We're usually more attractive when we're practicing meditative posturing because we're easier to be with. We have more harmony. Our energy is more likely to be an attractive energy to somebody, more likely to want to hear from us or to feel cared for by us. It also encourages us that in our relationships are enhanced because we have an ability through our meditative devotions for greater empathy, greater compassion, allowing other individuals to be as they are, less likely to get off into their business. So kindness, all the things that we want to claim, that we claim we want to see more of in a world we're creating here, all through meditation. It's absolutely linked to immunity, to building immunity in our bodies. So better health generally. And we did this class this morning, and I spoke about one of the benefits to me is I am clear and certain and grateful that I have a better sleep quality. I seldom have pain, and I have a lot of family history around all matters of things, and I'm still immune from most of it. And I absolutely believe that my meditative um, posture, my meditative practice, and my commitment to this has been beneficial and a primary factor in all of this. More important than any of that, I believe it is my spiritual responsibility and that I'm accountable to my own spirit. I'm accountable to my own soul to care for it in this way. So I really do take it to heart.
Thank you, Martha. And just to elaborate even further on many of the concrete benefits of meditation, uh, meditation will provide guidance for you. It will provide guidance in various ways that include during the meditation, but also after the meditation is completed in days to come when you experience something that was no doubt the result of the meditation, even though you don't tie it in exactly. This can come about through guidance through dreams. And sometimes that can be when we're in that twilight zone in between where we're half awake and half asleep, and yet we have guidance that comes to us to call somebody or to make a contact with another human being or to do something that we hadn't thought about. It can come through signs that appear before us that are clearly evidence of divine direction coming our way. Um, it can be through just a gut feeling to do something or intuition that comes to us. Um, Meditation can provide us with ideas of what to do with our life. It could be ideas as simple as trying a new restaurant or going and checking out a new food. Um, Meditation will provide us peace. It will provide us life direction. It will make us aware of to-dos, things that we have forgotten that we need to take up in order to complete what's ours to do in this life path. It will provide connections with people. Um, I had an example just a week or so ago. I had not heard of a fellow by the name of David Moore, who's had a history in our church, but he's had a lot of physical challenges. And I had called him a couple of times and left messages, and he had not called back. And I called his wife, and she gave me a way to contact him. And I reached him and went and visited him last week. This came out of meditation. There are all kinds of examples where this comes forth, and I can't identify specifically how, but I know Spirit is behind it, making it come into harmony for me. Solutions to issues, solutions to problems come through meditation. There is joy in connecting and igniting that passion for life itself. Ways to be of service. Connections with souls who are still in this world, this earthly experience, but souls from who have moved on into the divine realm. Various paths to pursue, ways to live better, doors of opportunity, pursuing the feelings that you want to feel, improving the pace of your life. ways to grow stronger, better, happier, more fulfilled. These blessings are enormous, but the greatest blessing is one I'm going to share toward the end. Martha, do you want to add anything to that, or would you like to go into how you go about your own personal meditation practice?
I will go into that because I have done all matters of meditation over the years. And I gave up years ago of having to do it a certain way, or it had to be on a pillow or on a cushion or in a certain room or with a candle lit or cross-legged or something. So I surrendered to all of that nonsense around what meditation had to be and began practicing meditation on the spot, so to speak. So if I miss my morning meditation, which is to sit for a few minutes and contemplate, to set intention for my day, to to establish how I am going to be in this day, and to ask God's support and guidance in that, and to show me clear ways that I can be and do this, and to leave myself feeling on solid ground. It's brief. I do this naturally now. If I don't take the time to do that, I don't wait. When it comes to me like, oh, I didn't do that this morning, I will put my hand over my heart, close my eyes, focus a few breaths that I am being breathed. So there's something above and beyond me that is expressing me, and reestablish myself as that divine being. I absolutely have able to do this now. It may be that I watch a bird on the bird feeder. It could be that I go out literally and walk for 5 minutes in the grass barefooted to get some grounding for myself, to bring me back to my out of my senses to my atonement, if you will, my at one-ment with the universe, with universal flow. So I've expanded my meditative practice to include everything. It includes how I prepare food. I was serving in a Vipassana center years ago, and I was worn smack out. And I was there to sit. And our meditations in Vipassana are about 14 hours a day. Noble silence. You don't talk with anybody. You don't look anybody in the eye. There's no reading, no books or no electronics or anything like that. And when I arrived, they told me that some of the staff hadn't made it and that I needed to serve. And I was devastated, like, oh my God, I've never needed to meditate more in my life. And I was clearly guided, as Reverend Ron said, that you don't even know what meditation is. You're here to learn what meditation actually is, which was open eye in life meditation. So I meditated while I chopped vegetables. I meditated while I made buckets and buckets of rice to feed the 100 people twice a day. I meditated mopping floors. I meditated washing dishes. And I've been able to bring that now into greater ways into my life through other examples of that, which include the way I am in life, the way I am in my home. And I'm very grateful for that. I'm grateful that I don't have to do it a certain way or sit in a certain position or even light a candle. And there's nothing against lighting candles. If lighting candles help, get in the bathtub helps, get a book, get a pen, journal meditation, music meditation, movement meditation. My encouragement to is do it whatever way you're willing to be more consistent in, because I believe that that is the key to this, just like with any other practice we're in, that is consistency. So 1 minute a day consistently will be far more effective than 20 minutes every month. Or 5 minutes a day done consistently will be far more beneficial than once a week for 15 minutes on a Sunday morning. So I want to encourage you to stay open, to not trying to do it right. quit worrying about trying to do it wrong or your fear that you're going to do it wrong, and find innovative, creative ways that really suit you to do this.
I totally agree with you, Martha. And as part of that, when I enter meditation, I do so with the spirit of I can't do anything wrong. This is going to go well. I'm not going to judge myself. I'm not going to try to practice a rote format of how I will go about this. I will be at ease. I will be relaxed about this. And what seems to work for me is to sit in a comfortable place, find a comfortable place. I have my phone next to me. I check the time. And I want to know for my own results afterwards whether it was about 15 or 20 minutes, because sometimes I get into it pretty deep and I think it's been a full 15 or 20 minutes. Turns out it's 7 minutes. And I want to go back and do it a little longer. I want to be able to connect with that inner self and feel that lift, that rising above the earthly experience, and to be at peace. What I do is I begin by focusing on so many names that we have for the divine. And I, in my mind, say, God, Holy Spirit, Christ within, Jesus, divine presence, source of all, oneness, infinite intelligence, allness, loving presence, spirit of life, higher self, whatever connects. And it helps me somehow to feel that connection that I am deliberately reaching out to the source of my being. And during the course of my meditation, without having any set plan, I do try to include one or more of 5 different thoughts. The first one always is, I am grateful. I am grateful for your presence and power in my life. And I allow myself to feel that and to focus on that and to let it lift me. Another one is, I ask to be in alignment with your spirit, or I choose to be in alignment with your spirit. The third is, I awaken my essence. I am at one with you. The fourth is, I ask or I choose that my thoughts and feelings align with your spirit. And the fifth one is, often during the day, I will have this message, which comes to me right when I'm getting out of bed in the morning. God, guide my way, direct my day. And in addition to that, at various times, I might well include some of the following thoughts. I would choose to be your ambassador, your channel, your conduit in the world. I embrace a path of love to align with you, to be a blessing in this world. I ask your guidance and direction and commit to follow your way. And I ask to have revealed opportunities to be of service, ways that I can support others in this earthly experience. And if I miss something, that's okay. And what I've found is I can move in and out of meditation, and the fact that I leave it does not mean I've somehow ended it all. I can come right back into it and feel just as full and complete at the end of it. Would you like to add anything, Martha?
I will. I want us to pause to think about what one thing you've heard already might you be willing to put into effect? What would you try after tonight's class to say, okay, the benefits are clear, emotional benefit, physical benefit, spiritual benefit, psychological benefit, and it's only going to be beneficial to the degree that I live this out. So, what would encourage you? What would prompt you to say, I'm going to do some of this? So, I want to put forth here we've talked about traditional ways of this. I'll call this a section then, some maybe less traditional ways to not have to sit on a cushion, take 20 minutes out of our day, but to incorporate meditation into our daily life. Like a mindful walking meditation, even to the mailbox, for example. So instead of just going from point A to point B, that I actually focus on the step. And we were taught in mystery school to use techniques like walking in the light. I am walking in the light. I'm walking as the light. Breath in, breath out, a rhythm of the breath, aware of my surroundings. This can transform even our commutes, running errands, a walk in the park, anything that we make even our drives to work more meditative. Sky, tree, bird, one word naming, something that's going to keep the mind out of its chaotic kind of busyness, craziness. A thing that we were taught in my work with Byron Katie, which is inquiry, which is to look at what we're thinking. So that's a meditation for me. So if I would say somebody's been rude to me, for example, my meditation would include, can I absolutely know that to be true? How do I react when I believe she was rude to me? And who would I be if I didn't have that thought? If I didn't believe that she's rude to me, who would I be? So inquiry is meditation, and it's helped me so many times to interrupt that patterning and my instinctual knee-jerk reactions to that. We were also encouraged to have mindful eating. And my friend Jeannie can do this. She calls it savoring her food instead of wolfing down the food, and to pay attention to the colors of it, the smells of it, the textures of it, the taste of it, and to actually be present to each bite with less distractions. We were required in her training to do this without any outside distraction. So no talking, no telephone, no TV. That's so unlike what most of us do. To take a chore meditation, which I spoke about earlier, to turn mundane tasks for most of us, like washing dishes, cleaning, folding laundry, as our opportunity for mindfulness. So that means then focusing on the sensations of the water, on the smell of the soap, on the feel of the fabric, and turning a tedious task into more of a calming ritual. So we can do this over and over. Art and music to engage our creativity, whether it's drawing, doodling, mandalas, anything like that, if we paint or whatever, to help us calm the mind when we do it, to get more present to even an art and music meditative practice like that. A body scan, to take a moment to mentally scan our body, to notice our sensations in the body, and to consciously then give a breath to the part of us that's holding tension, that is constricted in some way, and to absolutely on the spot, in the moment, bring some kind of healing to our bodies to help it release some. So I've got 5 or 6 others. We'll see how much time we have here. We want to get to your questions also. And I hope these have been helpful so far for ways to live this out, that it's not a tick box exercise, meditation, like, oh, I meditated, I'm all set, versus no, I meditated and I want to grow my meditative presence through how I live my life.
The greatest benefit of meditation for me is to demonstrate concretely my desire to have a close, responsive, personal relationship with God. And that this meditation and the devoted, committed exercise of it is evidence of that. And we can be certain that God welcomes this connection with us and is responding on an ongoing basis. But that personal interconnection with God is, for me, the greatest of all benefits. And this is ongoing. It isn't just at the time of the meditation, but it is before the meditation, after the meditation. It's an ongoing experience, and it becomes that blessing that allows us to just enjoy life at a whole new dimension. Would anyone like to raise a question or a comment? Julie, did you unmute yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's this very interesting information from both of you, and gives me a lot of food for thought. I have been I've started back to meditating daily just in the last month or so, and consistency, I agree, is really important. I just have so much going on sometimes, I just forget things. So I have this weekly calendar, and at the top of each day, I put God time. And for me, it's the most restful, peaceful way for me to start the day. So instead of like grabbing my coffee and turning on the TV to watch the news, I sit in this chair here I'm in, and I still have the coffee next to me, but I pause from the coffee and I close my eyes and I just feel my body relax, and I feel that connection I have with God, with spirit. I feel the connection consciously. My hands start to tingle. I start to feel energized. I feel more alive, more in tune, and I feel great peace and comfort. And it's for me, it's like it's a way to love myself. It's self-love. It's time just for me, my spirit, and all the good that surrounds us, all the good in us and all the good that surrounds us. And it's my time to just consciously take in that God love, that goodness that is all powerful and always present. And it just lifts me so much. And I'm finding it's a great way to start the day.
Thank you, honey. I don't know, as I listen to you, it's like, I don't know how I would have made it, honestly, without this. I just don't. Yeah.
Would anyone else like to share or raise a question?
Let's say.
Go, Sarah.
So I have was the author of the Dalai Lama's cat. I just love that man. But he has different meditations, and the one that, since I'm newer at it, is the one that works for me is that I I look at my thoughts and then I put them on a little cloud and let them float away. So I don't try to stop them. I just observe them without grabbing onto them. And 3 weeks ago, I got totally off track. So this is a great reboot. And I had been thinking about it because 3 weeks ago, I stepped on a storm drain and it tilted. And I got a severe laceration in my leg of 24 stitches. And it's turned my world upside down. I slept for 22 hours the first 3 days each day. And so my whole routine has not been a part of my life. So this is a wonderful opportunity for me to begin again tomorrow. Thank you.
No. God bless you, honey, as you renew your practice. And whether you're sitting, standing, or lying down, this meditation is going to be medicine for it. I am absolutely convinced, honey. Yeah.
One of the things that came out earlier this year was we were led to a book that Unity has published called Understanding Your Soul. And it is a book by a woman who is in a part of a Unity church in Buffalo, New York. And she believes, and I believe too, having read the book twice now, that it is channeled by Jesus. I found it very effective. We sent out 100 of them. If you did not receive one but would like one, if you send me an email and let me know your address, I'll see that you get one.
Sweet of you to do that, Ron.
What is your email, Ron?
Pardon?
What is your email?
It is Ronald F as in Frank, Scott, that's Ronald F as in Frank, Scott, SCOTT, @gmail.com.
Oh, okay. Oh, thank you.
Sure. I found it very powerful and very in this book, Jesus does recommend meditation.
Well, that's for every faith tradition known to humans has included a meditation of some sort. Every single faith tradition, whether it's prayers, mantra, silence, fasting, walking, nature bathing, forest bathing. There's all sorts of clever ways now to say this. And some of the ways that you've described, Sarah, was beautiful for me to remember, like letting the clouds go away on letting the thoughts go away on a cloud, for example. And for me, it includes naming them, which was in my preparation for this. I'd never heard this term, like noting, a noting technique, which is when the mind wanders, and it will, to gently acknowledge it and label the thoughts. And Byron Katie taught us about this too, as, oh, I'm in a future. The mind went to a future. So I just note that it went to the future. Or I could note that it went to worry. or note that it went to fear. It's okay. Wherever it went is okay. And then back to my breath, or
Ooh.
back to where my feet are on the ground, like that. So a noting kind of technique with this. Also, it could be helpful as I hope that all of us kind of renew our beginner mind spirit with this, that even though we may be seasoned meditators, that we come back to what it actually is for, to connect with our higher power, to connect with the source of us by whatever name you give that. And Reverend Ron spoke about, and it's my primary practice is gratitude, and that if I cannot find any other place to start, that I can start with fostering an appreciation for life, that I have eyes and ears and can see and I can walk and things. I was able to stand up out of the bed. I've got running water. So Abraham Hicks used to call it a 3-minute gratitude rampage, a rampage of gratitude, things like that. So that can jumpstart us some to get us back into our awareness of life. We're so caught up in the mind, in the antics of the mind, that we've lost touch with some of what is outside of this physical plane and outside of this world. And I hope that you are renewed tonight as you listen to some of this, that you come back to yourself, that you come back to a meditative devotion in whatever form you take, a minute, 5 minutes, whatever it is, that you're kind to yourself, that you give up any notion that you can do it wrong, and stay the course with your consistent practice. And to let us know if there's some way we can serve you in any way at the Spiritual Life Center. We've got so many videos and recordings over there on the YouTube channel. You're welcome to have them, use them, send them out to anybody. This will be over there on our channel. There's all sorts of teachings through me at the Martha Creek channel through YouTube. Also, we are both devoted to doing anything we can for the benefit of humanity through our ministry, Reverend Ron's life, decades of this, and my own. And we're absolutely honored that you would take the time to be here and to renew your practice, or to resume your practice, and to be gentle with yourself as you do, and to accept that I may need a cup of coffee, as Julie says. I'm not going to go in to meditate without my coffee, or I'm not going to go meditate and self-hate, because healing is not possible with self-hate. So whatever you do to be gentle and kind and compassionate with yourself relative to your meditation practice, and to continue to find innovative ways, a way that would suit you. And only you know what it is, that you may just set a timer and sit down 10 minutes and go for it. And if that's your way, Godspeed. And if that's not your way, let that be okay too. Some of the other forms of meditation included when the mind is so busy and we're so far gone, like our meditation practices, we may not have as much access to that place in us that is a calm place. So using a guided meditation, somebody else's voice, or a visual something that I can give the mind a job, something to focus on, even to find certain colors. So don't give up because it's difficult. Don't give up too quick because the mind didn't settle down or get calm. It's okay. It's okay. And continue to look and stay kind of devoted and curious about what is going to be my way. What way of meditation will be suitable for me? What ways of meditation will I be resonant with? And just because they work for everybody else doesn't mean they may work for me. It's okay. But to give it a fair test, to give it a fair trial to see if I commit to do this consistently, just a few minutes a day, what might be the benefits to you? And let us know. Let us know if you want to hear from us. You got Ron's email. Mine is my name, Martha Creek at Gmail. and we're cheering you on. That's for doggone sure in your practice, be it meditation or otherwise.
I personally am experiencing more and more concrete evidence that the invisible world is supporting me and supporting us. And it is such a blessing. It is such a gift. And it is something that just makes that connection just all the more powerful. Uh, I'm grateful for it. I see it left and right, and I'm recognizing it at a whole new level beyond anything I did before. And it just gives me chills sometimes. I'm so grateful. Does anyone else want to add anything? Yes.
Ron, go ahead.
So I just wanted to say, Martha, thank you. You probably saw the email I sent. I saw your email for invitation to this, and I think the way you put it was so beautiful, to be with self and with others as we talk about this journey of meditation. I think it is a journey for those of us that are called to this. It definitely has been that for me. Several of you were talking about, Martha, you were talking, having your coffee and whatever it looks like for you. I was soon after coming into New Thought and being in a church, Unity Church in Nashville. I had a friend at work who I was, bubbling up with newness and telling him about my meditation practice that I just started, that didn't know anything about it. He says, well, I've been doing that for years. I sit with my cup of coffee and my cigarette on the back porch and watch nature and listen to the birds. And I was so filled with judgment. I said, how in the world can you talk about that being, I didn't say it to him, but I was thinking that. And of course, just like Martha says, I'm sure that soothed him. I'm sure he received benefit from that, even though for us to think about smoking a cigarette and drinking coffee and just, but he was enjoying, he described it, and it was beautiful. I didn't see it at the time, but it took me years later to see it. And so over the last few years, meditating in the morning, my little chihuahua would always interrupt me when I first started. So I finally said, just like Martha says, I finally put her name was Little Bit. I put her in my lap. I petted her. She laid there perfectly still for as long as I meditated. She would lay with me. And oh, I mean, it was God incarnate. I mean, it was really such a blessing. And I lost her 2 years ago, and just old age, And when I went to the vet, put her down, the vet cried with me. I mean, but that mechanism of whatever it is that draws us closer to that presence. Um, uh, um, I'm always intrigued by, because I was in Nashville and went to Gethsemane several times, where Thomas Merton was. I remember learning about centering prayer, and the purpose, the whole issue around centering prayer is intention. It's just the intention to be in the presence of God. Nothing else. No thought. No thought. Nothing. And now sometimes I do that. Sometimes I do another style of meditation, like Martha says. But I'm going through that right now, kind of renewing that, living with intention, um, living with the intention to be in this sacred, divine space. No mantra, no thought, usually no music most of the time now, music or anything like that. Just to be in the silence, be in God's presence. It's about, you can't. Father Thomas Keaton said, "You can't think your way to God. It's a letting go. It's a letting go, and it's a living with intention of being in the presence of God."
Thank you,
for
Reverend Ron. It's
Thank you.
wonderful to have you here, and I'm heartened to hear your devotion, honey, to that, and that you incorporated it, because one of the things I said, we did the class earlier today too, is to find a time of day that suits your schedule. Like, you wouldn't try to do this without incorporating the dog if the dog is needing your attention. And so it's like to align meditation with my already established patterning of my day, because we're so in the inertia of our rigid ways. If we try to upset our whole schedule to add a meditation, we won't do it. There'll be such resistance, we won't ever do it. Versus just incorporated in the day. Like, let me get the puppy up here with me. It's a beautiful example of it. It's time. If we stay on our hour, that was our plan, and we got to just check in to see if you have any questions or closing comments or anything like that.
I just wanted to ask Julie if your sweet little cat comes up and sits with you during your quiet meditation time.
Yeah, frequently actually. And usually she does sit right in my lap very peacefully, but I was out and about a lot today. So as we've been together here, she's been, you've seen her, and she's a little antsier than usual because she wants my attention since haven't been home much.
And I wanted to thank everyone. This has been a wonderful hour. Greatly appreciated.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Dee. Glad you're here, honey. Yeah. Okay. Medicate. It's like meditate. When in doubt, meditate. Meditate doesn't work, then medicate, I guess. So let's see what we can do from here. Blessings to you all. Blessings to you all, every single way. Thank you for being here. And if you see that this might be beneficial to somebody that's suffering or needed a little renewal in their practice, feel free to send them the link. It'll be right over there on the SLC YouTube here in a day or two. Good night.